Back in 2003, over a period of about 45 days, I took an amazing 10,000-mile road trip. Throughout the trip, I rode my sapphire blue 2000 Triumph Sprint ST, and I went across the United States and Canada. Starting in San Diego, I went north, stopped in Santa Barbara, San Francisco, popped over to Oregon, went through Washington, saw friends in Seattle, and then went up into Canada to visit friends in Vancouver. From there, I rode out to Winnipeg, kept going, and went all the way to Nova Scotia, then went down into Maine, down to New York, through Boston, and kept going all the way to the Florida Keys. At this point, sort of heading back west in a roundabout way, I went through Indiana, up to Chicago, down over to Iowa, down to New Mexico, and eventually back to San Diego 45 days later. Now, I had a lot of adventures on that trip, and one of them taught me the power of the leather jacket with women. So I remember I was in Wyoming at a gas station, filling up, and all of a sudden the woman next to me who's filling up her car comes over and says this. It was something to the effect of, "I like your bike, and your outfit screams, come f*** me." Now, despite the rumors you may have heard, I don't get compliments like that every day. Seriously, I didn't know what to say. I think I just said thank you. And because I know you're going to ask, she was decent looking, but I was already engaged, and it just wasn't an opportunity I was going to take up on. The point I'm making here is when you wear the right leather jacket, one that fits you, one that complements your build, it makes you look like a "you sexy motherfucker." Today's video, gents, what wearing a leather jacket says about you. And by the way, when I say leather jacket, I'm talking about all the different types out there. You're going to see bovine, you're going to see suede, you're going to see pig, you're going to see deer, you're going to see goat. Tons of options out there. It really depends on what's common in your part of the world. So to reiterate that first point, wearing a leather jacket that complements your build, that builds up your shoulders, looks good on your body, is going to make you look sexy. But this leads to the question of why. Why are the ladies attracted to a man wearing a leather jacket? I mean, basically it's an animal skin. Well, the answer lies right there in our history. For tens of thousands of years, mankind has used animal skins as a protective covering for himself, to be able to insulate himself up north in the cold, to be able to protect himself from the sun down south. Skins have been used because they're flexible, they're durable, they are very protective, and they've always been a luxury item. This isn't something that's easily come by. It's something that only a man of means could have skins. Now, the deeper question is, have we evolved to love leather? Is it hardwired into our brains? The jury is out on that one, but what they have found is when women are exposed to different fabrics, different materials, leather, again and again, is rated as the most masculine of all the different materials that you can make clothing from. Me personally, I think it's more of the nurture versus the nature. I do think we have very strong societal biases which tell us that, hey, leather is very strong, very masculine. It's something that a strong man would wear. Gents, if you love the smell of leather, do me a favor, smash that like button and feed the algorithm. When you do that, more men just like you find these videos and it helps the channel. Seriously, I love the smell of leather. And if you're like me, you like that smell, check out Godolphin by Parfums de Marly, a great leather scent. The next thing wearing a leather jacket says about you is you have style, especially if you go with a non-traditional color, you go with a non-traditional material like suede, all of a sudden you're able to bring this into your wardrobe. A lot of people think that leather jackets are really easy to match. That's not true. You can pull it off and it can look okay, but to actually make it really work with your outfit, you got to know what you're doing. And let's face it, some colors and styles are going to draw attention. You're going to walk into a room, people are going to take notice. And by the way, if you're interested in suede jackets, you like the ones I've been wearing for the last couple minutes, you would like to get one in a unique color, in a really clean style, let me know down in the description of today's video. I've got a form that you can fill out. Give me your email address. I'm not going to spam you, but I am collecting information. I'm trying to see if there's interest in me putting out this suede jacket line. We're playing with 5 different colors. We're going to narrow it down to 2. I'm going to do a limited run of each of the 2 colors. This is going to be a very classic moto style. It's going to be something you can dress up, dress down, and I'm basing it off of the quality I've seen with a lot of John Varvatos jackets selling at the $2,000 price point. I'm like, you know what? I bet I can do it for half that price, even possibly less. And remember, gents, we're only going to move forward with this project if we get enough interest. So if you are interested, fill out the form down in the description of today's video. It will take you over to Real Men Real Style, where you can enter your email address. Once I have your email address, I'll send you updates. I'll ask you, hey, which one do you want to vote on? What color should we go with the jackets? What do you think with these styles? All that stuff I will be able to send you directly. With that out of the way, let's get back to the content. Marlon Brando, the Terminator, Wolverine, what do they all have in common? the leather jacket. You got pop culture on your side when it comes to leather jacket. Again and again, the guy that is the rebel, the guy that is standing outside on his own is consistently, it seems like, wearing that iconic piece, the leather jacket. Now, what about bomber jackets? What about flight jackets? What about rugged field jackets? What do these send the signal of? They send the signal, in my opinion, of ruggedness, of a hero, of a guy that has served. Yeah, because they were military jackets. And not just from World War II. Yeah, we're familiar with the bomber jackets. You may be familiar with 1920 flight jackets. Why did they use leather? Because you can move around in the cockpit. It's very durable. It's not going to get caught on any of the sharp edges there. And it's going to keep you warm. Very functional. But also, we go back thousands of years. Leather has been used in armor from militaries around the world. Now, is leather armor going to stop a direct hit from a crossbow? Of course not. But a glancing blow from a sword or a blunt instrument that hits you just in the arm, yeah, you're going to be bruised, your arm's going to swell, but you're not going to lose it. And let's bring this into the modern context. For anyone that's ever ridden motorcycles, you know why we wear leather. Because if you have ever put a bike down, if you've ever slidden across asphalt, you are very thankful, very happy that you had leather jacket on, you had a helmet on, and you had gloves and protective gear. Now, gents, I know you got an opinion. I want to hear from you down in the comments. When you wear a leather jacket, what message do you scream? I want to hear it down below. The next thing wearing a leather jacket says about you, you understand that functionality and style can coexist. When you wear something, yes, that has these big flaps, but you understand, hey, this is actually protect me from the wind. Whenever I'm wearing this moto jacket, it was designed that way. At the same time, it looks really good because flaps like this, lapels is kind of what they are now. It builds up the chest. It builds up my shoulders. This pattern right in here all of a sudden draws attention there. So you understand that something can be functional and it can be stylish. It can be something you can use to stand out in a crowded market. Another thing wearing a leather jacket says about a man, he's youthful. And contrary to what some people say, you can be an older guy and still pull off a leather jacket. And to find out how, check out this video right here where I break it out simple, how to find the right leather jacket style for your age. In this video, I explain each of the age groups. I talk about the different styles. I go into it in detail. So if you want more, check this video out right here. I will link to it as well down in the description.